You're listening to the VegasTourist.com podcast. I'm your host, Mark Anthony, and this is episode 203, Getting Married in Vegas.
Coming back from LA. We went to LA for the weekend for John was bowling a tournament.
Okay.
And we came back in time to meet and greet our clients for my wedding on Monday. We had a double wedding in Red Rock. Two couples together. It was awesome.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And two women and two men. And they were all friends.
Really?
From France. Yeah.
My third wife, we had two weddings.
This is your current wife, right?
No.
You're on the fourth wife?
I'm on my fourth wife.
Okay.
Three of them I married here, okay?
Okay, I get confused. You told me you got married here.
Definitely.
Okay.
But our second wedding was for her family. And we held it at Red Rock, right on the overlook.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's gorgeous out there.
It's gorgeous. It is. And they're coming from France, it's like unbelievable to them.
Open space.
Absolutely, they don't have the open space. Right.
So you didn't do anything for Super Bowl?
No, we were driving. Like I said, we were driving back from California. Took the weekend off because we weren't busy yet, and now it's going to start kicking in. So actually, we came back on the ground running. Got back at 6 o'clock and had to go meet the clients by 7.
Right at it, baby. Right at it.
Right at it. Yep.
I am talking to Joni Moss-Graham, who is tell me the name of your company.
LV Wedding Connection, because we connect everybody.
You do weddings.
We do. We do weddings. We do events. We do anything as long as it's legal.
That's the Vegas calling card.
We got to be legal. We're good because we get some crazy requests.
Oh, I bet. And it's Vegas. We do weird things out here.
We do. Yeah. I mean, where do you find Elvis in a sequin G-string doing a ceremony? But Vegas.
A mini Elvis.
Okay, that's right. Even a mini Elvis. That is correct.
How long have you been doing that?
25 years. I'm here 25 years, but I actually started in the travel business in the 80s and went from travel to having a retail florist shop, which transitioned into weddings.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We have NASCAR coming up.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything for NASCAR?
I haven't done anything specifically for NASCAR, but we've done weddings out at the Speedway.
That's cool.
That is quite challenging. Working with the folks at the Speedway and the red tape and so forth to get on the Speedway to do a wedding. But we did. We had a large group, international group, and
Neon
that's
garage.
what they wanted. No, right on the Speed.
Right on? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the times I was out there for a media event, and I was overhearing a conversation with the higher ups there, and somebody wanted to do a quick shot right out on the track with their cameras.
Quick photo?
A video spot. They're like, we're at a NASCAR track. I got to be out there. And they said that it would cost, I think it was $15,000. No, five. And that was just to turn the lights on. Yeah. That sudden surge of to light that whole thing.
Yeah.
Minimum $5,000 just to flip that switch, and that's their cost.
It is. We had it was probably a group of, I would say it was close to 15 international, and once we got the location fee, they were very workable and they were very happy to work with us. But then it was the add-ons. They wanted to do, can we have just like cheese and crackers and some soda? Yeah. It's pretty simple. Well, they have their exclusive catering out there, and you only can go through them, and it's like an arm and a leg, even if it's just Coke. And we had to go that route because that's what they wanted.
Have you ever been out there to actually see a NASCAR race?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
It's fun out there.
It is. Actually, one of our children is a NASCAR driver, but he also drives in the bull ring out there at the Speedway. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Right. Yeah. The Vegas Speedway is the only one that I've been to. And so to be there, and for me it's media. So we're in the neon garage, we're in this beautiful media building and all that, and I see the other NASCAR tracks. And I'm like, God, we are spoiled here.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's upscale.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And we've been to. Let me see. We went to Toyota in Irvine, California for a race, and that was very nice, though. But it's certainly different than what we have here.
Well, here we'll get the track holds 150,000 people, and like starting the Monday before that, long line of RVs come in.
Right, right.
And then all the tourists come in, and then we get like 300,000 tourists. Half of them are there, half of them are down on the strip having fun. Thursday night, all of this will be up on the website, but on Thursday night they do the Holler Parade. Ever see that?
No, I've heard about that.
It's a bitch getting a photo because of the lights reflecting off all of the chrome. All of the neon lights going down the strip.
Makes sense.
So you really can't get a good photo, but it's really cool to see all these shiny trucks just go right down the strip.
Right.
Right down all of that neon and glass and fun that.
Right.
Friday is qualifying. Saturday is what used to be called the Samstown 300 is now Boyd Gaming 300, and then Sunday is the Cobalt 400, which is the race.
Yeah, so it's a big weekend for us in town.
Yeah.
So we hope that we have a lot of people in town want to get married.
Of course, of course. Now, is Valentine's Day like the day?
It used to be the day. But when it's on a Saturday, it really is a good day.
Okay.
When it's, and then sometimes it ends up being the holiday weekend.
Right.
Because that holiday weekend is, President's Day.
Yeah. 3-day weekend.
Right. And especially the driving traffic, from Southern California, they come in for that.
Right.
But the other thing that is the day is when you have these numeric days. The 888. All of those days are big days. New Year's used to be a good day. But then with the strip closures, that just became not so good because why? The limousines can't pick up the people to get to the locations.
They're all booked.
Yeah. So when Valentine's falls on a Saturday, it's a really good, busy day. This year it's on a Sunday. And I know it's still a busy day, but maybe not up to what the numbers were in the past is what I've been told.
Okay. New Year's. No? We just went over that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Brain just kind of went, okay.
People want to get married,
yeah,
but it's difficult to maneuver around. So not as big as it used to be.
Okay. What are the numbers now?
Well, I would say this. I would say October and March, very good wedding months here because why? The weather is great.
Right.
Again, for us, using mostly our clients being international, we're very busy when it's not busy, like August and July, because that's their holiday back there in Europe.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they're traveling here. So that in turn makes us very busy, where if I didn't have that type of clientele, it wouldn't be a busy wedding time.
That's what's so funny about working the tourist business or the tourist industry in Las Vegas is we have to be more conscious about what's going on in other countries than we are here. Australia is opposite of us, so they're here for their Christmas, which is our summer, and vice versa. And then like Europe, they get like 10 days off or something.
Right. So it starts with us like right now I'm getting a lot of bookings for April, but then July and August, and last year September even was extremely busy, where again, think of us here doing weddings, that's not a major busy time typically. Of course, it's hot here, we know. So weddings are all happening in the evening.
Yeah.
And then again, the other thing that's different with the international traveler is most of their weddings are during the week, or the domestic folks' weddings are on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice. It fills up the week.
Yeah.
And the weekends would be the domestic people are traveling, Yes.
Step us through getting married in Vegas.
Absolutely. Okay. Guess what? The easiest process ever. That's why we got the wedding capital name.
Right.
So you come into town. Let's say you get off the plane today. You can go to the Clark County Courthouse. Now you must be together. Important. Both of you have to be together. One can't go.
You just can't send one. Okay.
No, we get that question all the time. Can I just go myself? No. You must go together. You bring an ID, such as your driver's license or passport, $77, and you pay. At the window, they type up the document, and you actually leave with that document. No blood test, no waiting, and you can take that document and get married immediately if you choose.
Now, when is the wedding bureau open?
8 a.m. till midnight, every day of the year. Christmas, New Year's, Memorial Day, Labor Day, everyone.
All right. Used to be 24 hours.
Used to be, but...
And then Britney Spears did her
thing. Yeah. But yes, so you can get it, and now when you get it, some people might come into town for a convention, but they're coming back to Vegas in 6 months. When you purchase it, it's good for 1 year of that purchase date. So you can purchase it and actually not get married instantly.
Okay.
Some people like to do that. Maybe they're in town, like I say, for another reason.
Right.
So the process is very easy, and once you're married, you're legally married. It's legal all over the world. You can't say the next day I changed my mind. Once the ceremony happens and the minister signs that document, you are legally married. Some people are a little confused. They think when they purchase the license, they're married. That is not the case.
Okay.
You have to wait to have that official sign off on it and have it recorded by the state of Nevada. But again, it's 1 year from date of purchase.
Okay. Now it costs $77.
Correct.
What does that money go towards?
You know, $25 of that go to battered women, and a lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
And that is really, I think the publicity of that is great. That money
Yes.
goes to that. Let's see, $14 of that fee. It used to, the marriage license, of course, has been raised consecutively throughout the years.
Right.
But it used to be 60, and now it went up to 77 about 8, 9, 10 months ago. Maybe last October. And of that $77, $14 is going to a fund to help promote wedding tourism.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. They've never had that before.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to create campaigns and so forth for the industry.
Okay. Before we get too far, what is all this?
What is all this? So, oh my God, there's all this. These are all actually people that we have done business with.
Okay.
But they're also end up to be personal friends and
Right.
events we've done. And they've all autographed photos for me to put it up. And we have impersonators here. We have entertainers. We have NASCAR. We have the former lieutenant governor. We have Elvis, comedians. We have a variety. We have the mayor. And these are many things that I have done in the past events, like with the mayor. Actually, I spearheaded the mayor's renewal in 999. But that photo was actually for an event that I did that was actually called Bras Across the Strip. It was for breast
Yes,
cancer.
I remember
many
that.
years ago with Sunny Thompson right there. Her photo
Right.
was there. And her husband, Greg Thompson, was a producer of shows in town. And then we have impersonators, and we have Earl Turner, who is amazing entertainer.
Oh, I love him.
We love Earl. We love
love
Earl.
him.
And our friend Smiley Joe Wiley, who's a comedian. He's actually on Carnival Cruise Lines now.
Okay.
Then we go down to son Taylor Barton, who races vehicles. We have Roland, who's an impersonator, actor, minister, Elvis, and Harmick, who also does the same. You can see him there, and we go on and on and on. I have a photo there of Diamond Rio, big country group that
Right.
actually filmed a music video at a facility that I used to be executive manager for.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It just takes memories all the time.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Jay White, I saw him many, many times.
And Jay White, he does a great job.
Yeah. Wes Winters, I've only seen him twice.
Amazing pianist.
Yes.
He's over at the South Point all the time now.
Yeah.
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 So close, but I just never get to see.
I know schedule's right. We're busy working.
Yeah. It's like
Busy working.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So now, Vegas is the wedding capital. We get what, like 10,000 a month, 9,000 a month?
It's last year we're close to 90,000 for the year.
Okay.
And it used to be a little bit higher. Of course, economics have changed that. We're on an average about 300 weddings a day in town.
Wow.
You know, throughout all the locations.
Yeah.
It was a little more several years ago, but that's the average.
But now we also do. Folks also do renewals
Correct.
and what?
Commitment ceremonies.
Okay.
Now there's no numbers on those. And you say,
Right.
well, why? Because there's no legal document needed.
Right.
So they can't keep stats on those.
Why would people do a renewal or a vow or
Why would you do that? Okay, so that's a great question. You know, a lot of cultures don't know what a renewal of vows is. So I have to explain it to them. And when you explain, it's like, how fun, let's do that. They're recreating their wedding day, or they're doing a celebration maybe they never had before. So let's say they got married.
they didn't have the money, they didn't.
Exactly.
Family wasn't there.
Exactly, because at this point in your life, most of them are better economically.
Right.
And maybe they got married. Another reason they got married, they were in the military. They had to get legal quickly.
Right.
They couldn't have a typical celebration with all the amenities. So they said, let's renew our vows. So for renewal, you don't have to go to the Clark County Courthouse to get a license. So it's a celebration, really. And a commitment, why would you do a commitment? For whatever reason, they can't have the legal documents. Let's say they have a spouse that has passed away, and Now they're on some type of benefits.
Right.
Now, if they get married, they lose the benefits.
Right.
But now they're with somebody new, so that's why they choose to do a commitment.
Okay.
And of course, now we have same-sex weddings legal, so
Yeah.
we're happy about that.
Which took so long.
It took so long, and it's so great. It's so great. Everybody deserves to be happy.
Now, Vegas, you can do a walk-up wedding. You can do a drive-up wedding. You can do what? Helicopters.
Ooh, you can do. I'll tell you what we do. We do all of our weddings are typically unique. And what does that really mean? Weddings in a helicopter. We say in the helicopter. If you're going over the strip, we'll do it in the helicopter. But we'll go to the Grand Canyon and land, and they get out. I mean, can you imagine? The scenery is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you do the ceremony down there. We'll do Valley of Fire, Red Rock, in the privacy of your suite, at the world famous Vegas sign. People want to get married with everybody whooping, hollering all around them. And Elvis. Let's see. I mean, anywhere. Roller coasters, jumping out of Circus on the bungee jump. I mean, people will do anything that they want to be different.
Is it because it's Vegas?
I think so.
We just, you know.
I think so. I think they know anything goes in Vegas. I mean, in front of the Mirage when the volcano's erupting.
Right.
You know, on the gondolas at the Venetian. You can be in many different cities in one night.
Yes.
When we all know that. So then they say, well, I want to do my wedding in Venice without going to Venice.
Curious question. Have you ever had anyone get cold feet at the last minute?
Oh, I had one wedding. No, I usually don't. Not cold feet. I had one a few months ago. They actually came from France. He proposed to her. So the wedding was all preset. She didn't know this.
Right.
She gets here and he proposed to her. And she says yes.
Oh, okay, good.
But then when he tells her the wedding is tomorrow, she says no. Like, I want to have the joy of planning my wedding.
Right.
So the next morning when we went to pick them up to take them for the tux and gown, he comes out with his friend and without her and says, I'm so sorry to tell you, but we're not having the wedding today because she says no. Even though she said yes, she says no.
Right. Wow. I mean, I remember from my career as a chauffeur, the number of times that I would go to pick the bride up, and on the way to the church, she's in the back going, "I'm not worthy. Turn around." You know?
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, she was marrying up in a social circle, or for whatever reason, you know. I don't know how many I've coached through, like, okay, everyone's in there. You got to go do it, okay? Whether or not, just do it.
You know what?
I'm paid for it. The flowers are paid for it. Let's do it. So.
You know, I have never had that, but let me transition that when you say, here we are there, and you're just saying, just do it. Think of this. All the culmination of coming here from X location, getting your license, and here we are. It's all culminated. They're getting ready to walk down the aisle.
Right.
In my position, think of this. I get the pleasure of being that last person to have that connection with that bride. So she's looking to you to say, help me. Not that should I do this or shouldn't do this, but to have that emotional connection and say, you know, everything is going to be okay. Is there anything I can do for you? They're crying at that last minute. They need help with the shoes. They need help with the dress.
Right.
Sometimes they've even asked me to walk them down the aisle because they're afraid. They're afraid, like I can't move.
Yeah.
And it's such a rewarding industry because you get to stand back and watch that client say,
You need to be part of that.
oh my God, we're grateful to them to say, thank you for letting us be part of your life-changing day.
Right.
Because you could have chose anybody. And you chose us, and we get to stand back and see somebody's life make a difference and be part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We had a couple yesterday that was amazing. Amazing story. Oh my gosh. I don't recall how old they are. I didn't look at their age. I didn't see their age. From Bosnia. And then they were living in Nashville, but originally from Bosnia. And they knew each other when they were kids. They showed us a picture when they were 3 years old.
They knew each other.
They played together. Their parents were friends. They played together. And then they lost touch. And then they ran into each other again when they were a few years ago. And when the mother said to him, I'm so-and-so, he said to me, I remembered her. And then they got together and they had this 1 year FaceTime because they had to get some specific type of visa.
Right.
So they couldn't see each other for while that was waiting. And they finally achieved it, and they chose Vegas to get married.
Wow.
And you should have seen the emotion in the ceremony yesterday. It just was very, very moving.
Wow. That's,
It's the best. You know, the sister of the bride said to me yesterday, I bet this is a great job. This looks like the best thing. I said, it's the greatest thing. I love doing this because you can see. Now, once in a while, you can't see.
yeah.
But the majority of the people are just like, you see all the affection and the love and everything. And it's like, oh my God, how great is this?
Now, you said you lived here, what, 25 years?
25 years. It's hard to believe, but yeah, 25 years.
You a California girl?
I am. From California. That's where I was back there this weekend. Had to get to the beach. Got to get the beach fix every once in a while.
Yeah, the sandy beach at Mandalay Bay just is not the same thing.
Yeah, it's just not. It's nice, but it's just not.
Yeah.
And the lake is not the same either. Don't hear the crashing waves. You got to have the crashing waves. So, yeah.
What brought you to Vegas?
You know, family. My parents were in the entertainment business, so I came here a lot when I was young. My mom came here, and I was here every summer as a child. Always loved Vegas. But then when I got married the first time, we moved from LA to Houston to open a flower shop. And why Houston? It was booming at the time.
Yeah.
LA was too pricey to start a business and find a home. And then, of course, that just kept going up and going up and going up. And when Houston lost that oil industry, my family said, we can't make it here in LA anymore. We're going to move to Vegas. Why don't you move to Vegas?
Join us. Come on.
So we moved to Vegas. And coming to Vegas with having the floral experience, I said, I think I want to go into weddings. Even though I wasn't in weddings, but the floral, I had touched, the wedding industry. And it was like an easy transition.
Yeah. Well, Well, it's the same field.
It's the same field, and it's helped me immensely being able to be the florist for my clients if I need to be, and have the knowledge. Even if I'm not the one providing the florals, I have the knowledge to to make the suggestions and so forth and so on with that.
Who would call you?
Who would call me? What do you mean?
Who would use your services?
Anybody. Anybody planning to come to Vegas for a wedding or a celebration.
You don't. You're basically the broker type. You're
That's a
planner?
good question. Yes, planner, consultant, coordinator. I teach a wedding planning class at CSN 2 days a week. So hopefully inspiring young people to go into this field.
Yeah.
Some of them actually do internships with us. But yes, we can plan it, or we can also facilitate it, or we can do both.
So you work with everyone in town?
I do. I work with many vendors.
A lot of people.
Yeah. And besides doing the wedding, because you build the trust with the client, they're actually wanting you to do things from the reception to shows and tours and hair and makeup setups, transportation, anything.
When they come in town and they say, okay, we got married, blah, 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 what else can we do? What do you recommend to your clients, in Vegas? Where do you like to send people?
So the question is always, is this your first time in Vegas?
Yes.
Because we know living here every day it's ever changing.
Yes.
And if they've been here before, let's suggest the new products, right? If they've never been here, you always got to send them to see the Bellagio fountains, because I'm living here all this time. I still am wowed by that. The concept, the end result, it's just amazing. So always send them there.
Yeah.
The Fremont Street, amazing. All the lights and vintage feel and what goes on there, all the activity and the vendors, it's always fun.
Right.
So I like to send them down there. Those are the two things I always say, and the best part of those two things is they're free.
Yes.
People like that.
Yes, we like free.
And then they only have to pay for whatever else, they drink and they eat.
It's also fun to people watch there.
Oh my God, people watch we love to people watch. People watch are amazing. So, but I always ask the client. I had a client the other day, Saturday. I spoke to her. She called. And she says, I'm calling, my daughter's going to get married, and I'm looking for a reception and a wedding and so forth. And I asked her a few questions. And she was shocked. She said, I didn't expect you to ask me these questions. I was expecting to basically ask you questions. And it stopped her in a minute.
Right.
And that's the same thing with what you're asking. I would be asking the client, so have you been here before? Are you an outdoor person? To get some idea on what kind of person they are, to know what things I want to recommend. I wouldn't recommend Red Rock if somebody says, I'm not an outdoors person and I hate the blah, 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 blah. But if they're like scenic people, oh my gosh, you got to go there.
Yeah. It's funny because people come here with a preconceived notion of what Vegas is.
This one street.
Yeah.
One street. It's only the Strip.
And we all live there.
We are absolutely. What hotel do you live in?
Yes, exactly. You know, and then the old adage, you know, Vegas doesn't have culture.
Right.
You have Elvis impersonators and bad shows. You know,
And we
it's
do have Elvis impersonators.
Yes, we do. And we have some bad shows.
And we do.
But, you know, now we have like the Smith Center. We've got downtown or Fremont East. We've got the Mob Museum. We've got, you know, then
The Neon Boneyard Museum.
Yeah, the Boneyard Museum. And then I like, because I get people who, you know, they're like, okay, my wife made me take this tour and I'm not going to enjoy myself. You know, they cross their arms, and as you take them farther off the strip, they just start to like, you know,
relax a little bit.
Yeah, and they're just like, I didn't know you had Walmarts.
Right, right.
You know, and then, like, you know, you go through Boulder City.
Boulder City, what a quaint little town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they go through it, and I explain that if you spend any amount of time there, you're going to start to look for Opie, Aunt Bee, Sheriff Taylor, because it's got that 1950s feel to it.
It does, and no gambling.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
And eight-lane bowling alley. You know, or you know, you go east and we have Red Rock.
Right.
We've got these mountains. We've got Spring Mountain Park.
Right.
We have.
And they're surprised.
Yeah, oh God, they're just shocked at it all.
They're shocked. But I will go back to the international people. They research all the national parks. They come to Vegas and they'll go the whole circuit. They'll go to Monument Valley, Bryce Canyon. They'll go all the way around to Death Valley. They want to see all those landmarks.
Yeah. They do like to, you know. Well, it's a once in a lifetime trip for a lot of them. So you know, so they're going to pack as much as they can in there.
In that short time, yeah.
Yeah. When you have friends come in town, where do you take them?
Well, you know,
or send them.
You typically want to say, let's stay to the local side. But
Right.
when they come to town, they always want to do the Vegas thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, what they want to say is, so what's new in town? What's the newest show in town? Where should we see? So based on when that is your response.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and of course what hotel they're staying at. And they always want to stay at the newest and greatest, latest and greatest hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, they want to see the new properties because the hotel is a hotel, but the decor is always different. The lounge is different.
Well,
and
it's
the
always
theme.
fun because you and I, because we live here and we work here, we know the little spots. Even in that hotel. I mean, I've had people stay at the Bellagio and did not know that they had a chocolate fountain there.
They never know that. And they
No.
never know it's the world's largest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, I'm staying there. And I'm like, well,
you
how
see it?
did you miss that? Well, okay, well, they're in the first tower. They're not in the back tower, so they never go behind the conservatory. Okay. Yeah.
And the conservatory is amazing.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And they change it, you know, every season. But the fountain, I think some people pass that and they just see it's a location. They don't see the plaque about it and the whole information. They just see the candy store.
Yeah. You know, and that is fun because, you know, you can stand in front of it. Okay, I always thought it was programmed to 2 songs because that's all I ever heard.
Oh.
Lee Greenwood, it's 3. Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA, Frank Sinatra, New York, New York, and a Celine Dion song.
Yes.
When I first came here and I was a chauffeur, every time I dropped off at the Bellagio, it was those, you know, and they're like, no, there's 20 songs. I'm like, there's 3. Okay. So to stand in front of there and watch it, first of all, is just amazing. And then, like last month, I was at a friend was staying at the Cosmopolitan overlooking it, so I got to see it from that angle.
It's a different angle, right?
Oh, definitely. And then you go up into the Eiffel Tower and watch it.
Oh, yeah. And that's a great restaurant to sit there and eat and watch the fountains.
Yeah.
Beautiful in there.
You know, and I mean, it's just one of those things you can see it a million times and still go,
Yeah. The synchronicity of all of that.
yeah.
That's amazing. It's amazing. So.
You know, yeah. So, do you think that, or do you have a hidden gem that you don't think a lot of people don't know about that you like to go or
I do, but it's far.
Okay, what is it?
It's Nelson, El Dorado Canyon.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Our wedding couples love it there.
Ah,
It's very eclectic.
yes.
The photos look like you're back in time.
Yep.
Most people, you say Nelson or El Dorado Canyon, they say, where's that? What's that?
Yeah.
And even if you're not getting married there, just to go there for the day, take a ride and see it, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the story behind that is it's just funny. You know, it's like, oh, okay. You know, and that's where they filmed that scene from 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Absolutely. They blow up the plane, and the plane is still there, a replica for people to go take photos.
And they blew up and somebody in the special effects department blew up the gas tank before it was supposed to.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we heard. That's what we
Yes,
heard.
yeah.
We have. And many things have been filmed out there. Music videos.
Oh,
Beyonce has filmed music videos. Many people photo shoots, and doing a wedding out there is very peaceful. But it's a certain kind of client that wants that for a wedding.
Right.
But when people say, "Tell me somewhere," if they have the time to drive an hour, that's a really unique location to go see and spend an hour or two.
I like the dry lake bed.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
Well, it's funny because when you're out there, when I have people out there for whatever reason they were out there, they start to realize that they've seen this before.
Oh,
And it's usually the wife.
okay.
And I'll look at her and go, do you read Vogue? Do you read Vanity Fair? Yes, this is where they do a lot of the photo shoots for the fashions, is out there or Valley of Fire.
Right.
Got that dry lake bed, got the mountains behind, especially now when there's snow on the back of the mountains.
Right.
Are there what are your 3 must-dos for a Vegas tourist? Give me 3 things you think a Vegas tourist should do.
I would say those first 2, which was Bellagio Fountains, and I would say Fremont Street. Definitely. And a lot of times when you tell people you know about Fremont Street, they say, "What's that?
Yeah.
Where is it? What is it?" 3. Oh my gosh, what's the third one? Wow. We have so much dining here. I would say, my gosh, we have so much dining and so many celebrity chefs. If people are foodies,
Oh, yes.
there is like nonstop on that. But what would be my third? I've got to say the Welcome to Vegas sign.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a historic landmark.
Well, that and a lot of people don't believe that it exists.
They don't. You know what I hear all the time? We thought it was bigger. When
Really?
they get there, they thought it was way bigger than what they're standing at. But they don't realize, and they read the plaque, that it's a historic monument, a landmark. So that's like, wow, it's more than just a sign.
Started out where, basically where the wind sits now.
I mean,
Up in that area.
it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I would say that's a must, because that obviously when somebody's in a photo with that, there's no mistaking where you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and people always want to go. I mean, it's crazy. There's sometimes a line to get in and standing in line to get a photo. So I would say that would be a must.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I've been told, oh, I just thought that was a Hollywood thing. No, it really does. There it is.
It's like the people go in LA, they search to get to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
But this one being a landmark, an historic, it makes it a little bit more, even for people that know that. When we go to the sign, we always show the people on the ground, this is the plaque, and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole history behind that is fascinating.
It was never copywritten.
No. And it was just, okay, she did the design, and okay, it'll last a couple of years and life goes on.
And every type of industry uses that sign in their business now.
Yeah. That's the one thing I try not to do with tourists, is not use that, but sooner or later you end up using it.
Somehow, somewhere.
You have to. It's
Yeah.
Vegas.
It's recognizable.
Yeah.
And they do neat things with it. Breast cancer time of the year, they'll turn the lights pink. They've turned them green for around St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
They've turned them orange for some other things. So they do different things like that too as well.
Where do you like to go? What do you like to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, being in tourism, a lot of our social time is connected with work.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We have social time?
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, tonight we're going to a brand new show that just opened. So you're going out to enjoy a show, and that's personal time, but it's tied to your work, because then you see the show and then you're able to tell your clients all about the show.
Which show?
Twisted Vegas.
Okay.
So, and then one of our officiants and friends, but like our family member, is actually in the show, so it even makes it more exciting
neat.
tonight. Yeah. So, social time, again, it crosses over. But then when we're not doing that, we'll just go to the local places around and, go have something to eat and kind of get away from the jumping and all the people at the Strip.
Right.
Because we're not on the Strip. We don't really go to the Strip just to hang out. We'll stay in our community, which, again, people don't understand we have a community. So.
Well, it's funny when you explain to them what a local what a local place is.
Right.
You know,
right.
like the Suncoast
Yes.
or South Point. You know, where it's not because we're all habitual gamblers. It's just that's where our entertainment is.
Right.
You know, they've got the movie theaters, they've got
Right.
childcare, they got bingo. You know, got 24-hour bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have gambling, but also some really nice restaurants are here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where we go for our entertainment, unless we want to go down and make fun of them. But
Yeah, and I love the movies. We'll go to the movies, and we go to those properties for the movies.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing good about it is even if you're going out personally, you can go to one location, whatever it is, whether it's that property or another property. You can go to a movie, you can eat, you can gamble a little bit if you choose, but everything in one place.
and
And then come home.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, Vegas just has that unique characteristic of opportunities to do what it is that you want to do. You know, I know from my point of view that you really have to leave Vegas to understand that this is not how the world operates.
That's true. When we talk about doing business in Vegas, it is the Vegas way. It's different than anywhere else.
Yeah.
The way business is done here is completely different.
You know, that and just the fact that you can do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to get married at 3 o'clock in the morning
We can do it.
with a singing frog in a pond, you know, not a problem.
Not a problem. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You want to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you need to go to the store.
Yeah.
You want to go get this, you can, but other places, things are closed up by that time.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know about you, but I know, like, when I go back to Minnesota, if you put down anything larger than a $20 bill on the counter, they look at you like, you know, are you a drug dealer?
Really? Well, you know what the number one bill used here is?
What?
$100 bill.
Yeah.
I read that that was the number one bill that passes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know the last time I went back home, wife and I were standing in line, I think, at a Target, which is really weird because here you go into a Target and there's more workers than there are people. That's why I like to go into Target.
I never thought about that before. Okay.
That's the only reason that I go into a Target. My sister works for Target, so
Be nice.
yeah. Well, it's funny because we're back in Minnesota and I'm in a Target and I'm looking at my wife going, God, there's people here. Mm-hmm. Wow, okay. And then I'm at a cash register and the lady in front of me is whipping out a checkbook and I'm just like, they still make those things?
Right. We don't see that.
No.
No.
No. You know, this town is a cash town or it's
Credit card, debit
that's
card.
it.
Yeah.
You know, checks, don't see it.
Right.
You know, steak, dinner, movie at 3 o'clock in the morning, not a problem. We can do it.
Right.
Want to go bowling? Want to play bingo? Not a problem. Where do you want to go?
Right. Which location? Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
And here, bingo is not your mom and pop church bingo where they raffle off a ham or something.
Oh no, we've got to play bingo. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried it recently. It's fun.
You know, and they've got some money behind it.
We did the first time we went. My husband and I went. We had no idea. I said, I want to go try bingo. A friend of mine said, you got to go try bingo. Go to Green Valley Station. No smoking in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. So we went. So let's try this. I have no idea. I know how to play bingo, but I have no idea when they say, do you want the 9 cards, the 12, the 14, the 20? I'm like, I don't know. So anyhow, we went, we sat down, and I don't remember what we paid. I want to say $25 a person. Mm-hmm. We played, and he won $150 first time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the cook, you know. We just happened to win. I'm like, well, I want to go back. That was fun.
We got to stay here more often. This is
Pretty fun. And then inclusive of your fee is 2 drinks.
Yeah, there you go.
Whether it's alcohol, coffee, or Coke, includes 2 drinks. Where can you go? Bingo with 2 drinks.
You've been here a long time. I've been here a long time. Remember during the boom period, if you lived here longer than a month, you were called an old timer?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What do you miss about what was here when you came here and what's not here now?
You know, I think I'm going to say what probably a lot of people say. You know, when the mob ran Vegas, it was a different concept.
Yes.
It wasn't corporate. I think corporate America running Vegas is completely different. Mm-hmm. You know, we do business all through relationships.
Right.
And I think that era did business through relationships. But once corporate steps in, it changes some dimensions of doing business and some dimensions.
That's why
of
we're going to pay for parking now. So
I know we're going to pay for parking now. I know that's crazy. But anyhow.
Well, that was funny because of the reaction from various people on that was so funny because they're like, well, you know, we pay for it in Chicago, we pay for it in New York, and it's like, well, this is not New York and this is not Chicago, this is Vegas.
Right, and I think that was one of our plus items for tourists.
Yeah.
That there was no parking fee.
No.
Yeah.
Show up, park, go have fun.
We love that being locals.
Yeah.
Go from here to there to there. Now it's going to be interesting if they'll have some variances for us being locals for the parking.
What do you think about the new arena?
The new one that's going to open or the one they just discussed that's going to be built?
Let's talk about the one that's about to open.
I think it's going to be great, but I think it's 10,000 seating?
20.
20,000 seating and no parking. I don't get it. I don't get why there wasn't a parking structure built with it, but I guess now they realize that, so now that's where the $10 comes in. But anyhow, I think it's going to, I mean, a lot of big headliners are already being booked there.
Right.
So it's just another venue to have more events.
Yeah. And now the 60,000 seat one?
Yeah, it's going to be a traffic jam over there. Yeah, but if we get the sports team like they're talking about.
I don't think we need it.
I mean, it'd be good if we had it. Everybody's talked about that.
Yeah.
But it'll just be another venue if it's not.
Right.
And we certainly fill up the venues between the
Easily.
fights and the rodeos and
And the motocrosses and the UFCs and the MMAs.
yeah,
And,
absolutely.
you know, it's amazing the number of events that come here and will come here if, you know, if you build it, they will come. So,
You know, with the redo of the convention center, same thing. They're going to have more space over there for conventions. And apparently, even though it's very big over there, they've run out of space. For certain conventions, there was not enough space for them. So.
Have you seen the preliminaries of what's going where the Riviera is?
No. Have you?
Yes.
Oh, is it going to be amazing?
Yes.
I think it would be too.
When they first said, you know, that this is what we're going to do, blah, 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 I was against it because I like the Riviera. It's very historic, it's very beautiful, and it's middle class.
Yes.
Which is what Vegas is losing.
Yes, agreed.
But when I saw what they were going to put there as far as amenities and space and planning, it just made so much sense because of how the layout of the convention center will be, how people will move around it, and how we'll get to it. So, and the fact that, yes, we do need it.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, if you were at CES with 180,000 people there, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, we could use a little bit more space here. So.
Yeah, and what I've heard is, and if you've seen it, you probably know that they're going to have big open areas, restaurants. I mean, much more provisions than they had in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's just.
And not to mention, I believe they have said it's the first. How did they say it? First. Well, the ad. I'm not exactly sure how to say it's correct, but the address is on the Strip.
Yes.
And how to have a convention center on the Strip.
Right.
First time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which which makes total sense.
Yeah.
To have that entrance right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an address to have.
Right.
We are
located on Las Vegas Boulevard.
So,
yeah.
All right. Final question. Hopefully, maybe.
Okay.
Favorite Vegas movie?
Oh my God! Favorites make. All right.
Tell you
Think
what.
Like a Man too. Oh my God! They got the bachelorette party and both
Really?
parties. It's very funny. Kevin Hart is very funny. But you know, we have so many. So The Hangover was filmed here.
Yep.
It wasn't good for the wedding industry. I've been combating that since that movie. They want to say, where's the Hangover Chapel? There is no Hangover Chapel.
It's a parking lot next to a strip club.
Exactly. It was a facade, but that created another whole concept. Of course, Elvis getting married here, and Elvis is such a big icon. But any Elvis movies are always famous. I had the privilege of being part of a movie called Tomcats.
Okay.
With Jerry O'Connell and Jake Busey.
Okay.
And that was filmed at a chapel that I was running several years ago.
Really?
So that happened to be favorite only because I got to be involved in it. But When you see this Think Like a Man too, it's hysterical because it's a group of girls coming to Vegas and a group of guys, and what happens before the weddings. But it's very comical because, like I said, it's all comedians in it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolute last question. Favorite show?
Oh, favorite. No, I didn't say oh. Favorite show?
Yeah.
Favorite show. Oh my.
In Vegas, whether it's downtown or on the strip, or
You know,
or shows.
I'm gonna have to say. I saw Celine twice. Oh.
I haven't seen her yet.
Oh, you know what? First of all, she is amazing. The acoustics in there. It's a beautiful location. I have to say that happens to be a favorite. I will say the Cirque du Soleil shows, though, they're all great. I really love. God, they all have a little piece.
Mm-hmm.
They all have something different. La Rev is fantastic.
Yes.
La Rev is fantastic. So it's hard for me to say one.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the concerts that we have.
Yeah.
I think the venues have great sound systems and the seating and what you see. So I like that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, I always get that a lot when I ask, your favorite show, and they're like, oh, okay, let's make it plural, okay?
yeah, because it's like,
There are nights you're in the mood for a Cirque du Soleil show, and there's
Yes.
nights you want the Million Man or the $1 Million Quartet.
Yes, that was great too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I could come back and say to you that I have seen anything that was terrible. I don't have any memory of that.
Okay.
I mean, think of what it is to put together a show. What happens behind the scenes.
Oh my God.
The work, the hours, all of those things, you've got to give those people so much credit.
Well, now we lose Jubilee, which is sad. So.
Yeah, it is sad. That's an icon. You know what, though? And it's the same thing like weddings. Because if somebody says to me, I want to go to a show, my question has got to be, okay, so what kind of show? Because
Yes.
I wouldn't suggest Blue Man if they say Another Vision.
Right.
Blue Man is great in that genre.
Right.
The Jabberwockies is great in that genre.
Right.
But maybe it's an older group and that wouldn't fit them. So I think the questions have to be, when they say, what show should I see?
What
Tell,
do you
what are you looking
like?
for?
Yeah.
What do you like before you make that suggestion?
Yeah. Yeah. That's well. It goes along with food.
Absolutely.
I'm hungry. Do you recommend a restaurant? Well, we have In-N-Out, White Castle, Oreos, Oscars.
Yeah.
What?
We have all the, Gordon Ramsay's
Yeah.
places. You know that In-N-Out burger is the busiest In-N-Out in the country. Did you know that? On Tropicana?
Oh,
Busiest one in the country. Sometimes you wait forever to get in. The limousines pulling up there, and it's just iconic. But same thing, if they want a burger, do you want that kind of experience?
yeah.
Or do you want that Gordon Ramsay experience? What are you looking for? And I think that's what key people have to remember when you ask your client, or they ask you, not to just respond with,
Oh, this, and this.
yes, find out what is their, and that's the question we ask for our wedding clients. I want to get married. When they call and say, how much does it cost to get married in Vegas? That's like a crazy question. What is your vision? Tell me what your vision what is your visionary? What are you looking for at the end? And so once I get those answers, then I know how to reply. And that would be the same questions for the shows and the restaurants.
All right. If anyone needs to get a hold of you or wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Okay. You can email me at joni@lvweddingconnection.com or check out our website, www.lvweddingconnection.com.
All
And of course, my number, 702-236-8728.
All righty. I thank you for your time.
I thank you for giving me the time. My pleasure. And hoping we're going to hear from some guests.
You will. And for everyone else, the show notes will be up on the website, thevegastours.com, with all of the links. This is Mark Anthony. Check out the website. Check out the YouTube. Like us on iTunes and subscribe. Until next time, this is Mark Anthony. Have a wonderful week.